When they run these blitzes every once a month or something like that, it purges all those documents out. So when people are saying, "I didn't receive your documents, send them again," "I didn't receive your documents, send them again," they were really just purging them. And even the ones that they could see in their many systems, they would lie and say they didn't see them. And there's something that they would do scorecards for their employees where they were given 7 minutes. Under 7 minutes is what they were wanting their employees to finish up these calls. These are talking to homeowners trying to save their homes, and they've been given a time frame, and then they get in trouble if they went over those 7 minutes and said the wrong thing. So these Bank of America employees were put in fear for their jobs, and these amazing whistleblowers came out and talked to us about all of this. So it doesn't make you feel like you're crazy, you know? You're like, yeah, that happened to me and so many people I know. So the Delay and Blitz program, they also had bonuses, which were really exciting. If you, as an employee of Bank of America, if you put over 10 accounts into foreclosure in a month, you received a $500 bonus. And also you could get gift cards for Target and Bed Bath & Beyond. So these are the kind of, there's like these performance goals and quotas. All these were hooked up to illegally take people's homes. So I have a little bit of advice. I would say take your money out of the big banks, put them in small banks in your town or credit unions. There's just major stuff going on in our financial system most people don't know or understand. It's very serious, so you have to protect yourself and you have to study and get active and be proactive. And I'd love you to look up on Google Iceland. Not many people talk about Iceland, but I've been a total fan since I learned about them and sat on a 2-hour conference call where Hoarder, the fellow who started the revolution, the pots and pans revolution, if you type that into Google, they put their banksters in jail. They forgave the debt for the country. And they put new parliament in, and they ran the Rothschilds out of Iceland. They ran the Rothschilds out of Iceland. They ran the Rothschilds out of Iceland. So these types of things are not in the mainstream media, which is another really important topic. The mainstream media is not talking about these things. They're not in the newspapers. All this stuff is hidden and secret, and you've been snowed. You should be mad. And that's kind of one of my main things. Our chains of title have been broken. Our county records have been completely defaced. Everything inside those county records have been photoshopped. And so we're just really coming together here now that we've learned everything and we've combined our efforts, and we're just going forward as best we can to notify everybody. So please share this. There'll be more about this. Keep studying.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Last but certainly not least, as a man who drove 10 hours down from, what was it, Mendocino County?
Yep, Mendocino County.
Introduce yourself and don't hold the mic too close. Tell us what people need to know. You still got 6-7 minutes.
All right. My name's Jed Davis. I live in Mendocino County. I've been fighting foreclosure for a couple of years now. Thank you to CJ Holmes of Homeowners for Justice. Everything that you need to know to stay in your home is at www.hofj.org. Follow her directions on homeowner or foreclosure defense. She helped me see that I had some forged documents on the assignments that the banks used to start the foreclosure process. I proceeded to go down, contact the notaries, and get the notary logbooks, which had the signor's driver's license numbers on there. From there, I contacted the DMV, got their certified copy of their driver's license applications with the signatures that don't match the signatures on my documents. As I went further down the rabbit hole, the banks, they tried to assign my property into the trust, which it was supposed to have been in 6 years prior. These mortgage-backed securities put these mortgages into a pool of about 2,000 mortgages, and these are tax-exempt boxes, essentially, with 2,000, don't worry about it, 2,000 mortgages. And there was a recent case, the Glaske versus B of A case, which said if these mortgages are not put into the trust within the cutoff date, they are void.
Yes, void.
Void. So
90 days. 90 days.
within 90 days of when the mortgage was originated. Essentially, everyone here has documents. All of us, California 18, have documents that have illegalities. They are void, which means the foreclosures are void. The real issue here is that there are millions of foreclosures, somewhere to the tune of 12 million, that are unlawful, which means that our public records have been polluted, they were tainted, and the security of home ownership in America is no longer secure. Our children and grandchildren can no longer know that when they are buying a piece of property that they can securely own it. Someone may show up at some point in time and say, that's my property, which reduces America, the safest country in the world to own land in for the last 400 years, to basically a third world country where anyone can show up and take your home from you. Kamala Harris and a California Attorney General, these are provable crimes. You are going after small-time attorneys for filing false documents under California Penal Code 115, and you're not going after the banks for doing the same. And everyone here can be proven, and we're getting the runaround that it can't be proven. I have certified copies of the correct signature, which looks nothing like the signatures on my paperwork. You can't tell me they're not forged. So, in that tone or tune, there's 60 million Americans that are paying mortgages to a company that cannot legally prove their right to enforce your note. In other words, you're paying your thousands of dollars a month to a company that has no legal right to collect your money.
Exactly.
And it is your legal right to ask them and to prove their legal right under the Uniform Commercial Code and every state's equivalent commercial code. This book right here, Fighting the Foreclosure Machine by Robert Janes. He's a CPA, retired CPA and an attorney. He will walk you through the process of exactly what you need to do to question your lender and make them prove that they have the right to foreclose or to collect your note or foreclose on you. If they can't, they'll tell you that they don't want to they don't have to prove to you, which legally they do. Then you can do a quiet title action. You can go to a judge and tell them, I've asked them to prove to me their legal right to enforce my note, and they haven't, and now I'm asking you to do the same. And if they can't do it under oath, make them go away. There's millions of people, 60 million people could do this and stop paying the banks. Kamala Harris, look into it. It's not rocket science. We've all figured this out, and we're just getting the runaround. And if you're not willing to do it, we're going to look into who you're beholden to. How is your retirement fund invested? Is it with the banks? A lot of these public employees, their retirement funds are invested with the bank. You know, we can start, since we're not getting the help from our law enforcement and the Attorney General's office or the DA's, the Recorder's office, to protect the integrity of our public records. I've been to the California Recorders Association the County Recorders Association of California. I've talked to the president of that association. I laid out the case that basically these crimes are millions of unlawful foreclosures are polluting the titles of the records in our county's office. Nueces County versus B of A in Texas was a court case in which they ruled in favor of the county being deprived of millions of dollars of recording fees. John O'Brien of Essex County in Salem, Massachusetts has proven that his county has lost $22 million in recording fees. It's going on all over the country. What I was told after presenting these cases, as well as my forged documents, to they're called CRAC, the County Recorder's Office of California, was the board of directors reviewed everything and decided that they would not present it to the 52 recorders coming to meet later that week. And when I asked what was the tone of the meeting, and she would not, she referred me to my state representative.
Commercial bond, honey. Go out and get a commercial bond.
So we need to restore the integrity of our public records. Fraud and is happening every day. It's happened by the millions. We're losing our country, and we depend on you to do it. If you can't do it, then we're going to do it with our quiet title actions. Thank you.
Well, people, there you've had quite a panel tonight. I hope you've paid close attention. I'll be posting this on my website, www.onsecondthought.tv.
Can I mention one more?
Yes,
Mary McCulley.
Jury trial was in Bozeman, Montana.
And you had a jury trial. You were the plaintiff against U.S. Bank. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And
U.S.
you,
Bank and American Land Title Company.
oh, and
Yes,
so it was U.S. Bank and a title company.
American Land Title Company. They were dropped by the lawsuit when the Supreme Court reversed the appeal on April 9, 2013.
And did you win $6 million by a jury verdict, Mary?
Well, the jury came down with a $1 million actual damage, and the punitive was $5 million against U.S. Bank.
Was there any punitive damages against the title company?
Mention Mary McCulley.
Oh, yeah,
It's a
we'll
big
get-
win.
Yep. And also, I'll have it on my YouTube channel, William Wagener on YouTube. And if you want a camera in your court, and it's worth a few hundred or $1,000 for you to make that judge lie while I tape him, you need to call me at 805-928-1100. And I've actually got some judges to reverse themselves when they remembered, oh yeah, the camera's running. Strike that from the record. We're going to rule this way. It's happened. And we want to mention, before we leave, we have her on tape, but we don't have time today, a gal up in Montana by the name of Mary McCullough, sounds Irish, McCulley, won $6 million against U.S. Bank, I think it was. For fraud.
And constructive fraud.
And constructive fraud. And she would have been here tonight, but she just won this. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. She just won this a week ago. She hasn't collected it yet, but she's got a great pair of attorneys. And what I want to say is, Mary did most of the footwork.
All of it.
Up to the point where she knew if she didn't have attorneys to carry it to the finish, they wouldn't let her win if she did everything right. So she hired attorneys, and we'll put their names. When you see this on YouTube, you'll see their names right below here. That's in Montana. So you can win. You can win, but you might get a lot of harassment before you get there. We should mention Linda Alamonte.
Linda Alamonte is the whistleblower, the big whistleblower against Chase Bank, that our Attorney General is using her testimony to go after Chase. So why are we not going after the California 18s cases that we gave to you a year ago? What are you afraid of in helping us? Who is behind these cases that is stopping it from happening?
Well, that's our show for tonight. Thank you. I'm William Wagener with a cast of a dozen here. Hope you learned something. Get the book Jed mentioned.
Woo! Good show!
Yes.
Woo!
Occupy. Get down. Occupy.
I cannot thank you enough for this show.
I made it.
You have started what is now going to propel and cause the change. This woman's going to see this because I know they're going to watch.
For all of you